As a Colorado fan and somebody that has defended Coach Prime and taken heat for the things that I think about Coach Prime, I wanted to make a video and just thank him for coming out and saying what he did about his tweets. Last week was a little bit crazy, in my opinion. I feel like everything escalated and took off and it became its own. And I think when Coach Prime started to tweet, I feel like everything blew up and it made the situation worse. And then people were stuck defending certain things. People were attacking people for being haters. People were saying people were doing too much. There was so much happening last week. And I feel like one thing that happened that really shouldn't have happened is a lot of people were defending Coach Prime. And listen, if you were somebody that was defending Coach Prime, that's fine. I have no problem with that. That's your prerogative to do that. I did make a video and I did say that I felt like the media was playing a little bit into the narrative they wanted to play into it. And then I also said in that same video that I wish they wouldn't have tweeted it. I wish they could have let it go. I wish they could have moved on. Some people liked that video. Some people didn't like that video, and that's fine. Similar to my Cormani video, I came out and said, listen, sometimes certain situations don't work for you and it's time to move on. However, I don't feel like we need to take the extra step and attack people and do things in the media. So it was super, super amazing to see Coach Prime come out and say that exactly. He said he needs to do better. He said he was bored and he shouldn't have done that. And he said he's not somebody that attacks people. So to me, that is him realizing that what he did last week and his actions last week were not good. And I appreciate him coming out and making a statement as such. I think so many times we think that if we support somebody, we can't give them feedback. We can't express our concern. We can't hold them accountable to anything that they do. But I'm going to tell you something about people that are great is that they don't mind being held accountable if you do it in a respectful way. And I think whoever you ask will tell you that there's a lot of aspects in Coach Prime's life where he is great. And to be great, you have to be able to be accountable for your actions and you have to be able to accept feedback. And so the fact that he made, the video, the quote, the fact that he just said, I shouldn't have done that I don't attack people, that let me know everything that I needed to know, and that he realizes his actions and behavior is not something that he wanted to put out to the world. And for that, I appreciate him. And I am super glad that he came out and said that. And so I wanted to thank him. As a fan, you've heard me say in several videos, I'm with you, I'm for you, I'm supporting you. I hope they go 12-0 this year. I'm all in. However, when I see certain things that I don't like, or when I see certain things that are going against the person that I think that you're trying to be, or the person you're telling us that you are, I'm going to have concerns. And so that's why I had concerns. And he came out this week and he corrected the record. I think the interesting thing about what he did, though, was there's so many people that were defending his actions last week. And there were so many people that were okay with the things that he said. And there were so many people that actually were acting like what he did was okay because he's tired and because he's fed up. But the reality is he's in the people business. And everything that I know about leaders, everything that I know about people that are in power positions, you can't make those comments and tweet them. You can think them, you can feel them, you might even be able to tell your inner circle, but you can't go on Twitter and show the world that, because you are trying to recruit young athletes and you're trying to build young men. That's what he has always said. That has always been his goal. And so I respect the fact that he came out and admitted, hey, I shouldn't have done that. I should have been better. I don't attack people. And so I just wanted to say that something about me that I will always try to do is I will always be consistent and I will always be fair. One of my bracelets actually says consistency, because I pride myself as an individual on being consistent. That is something I do for myself, and that is how I will always show up, and I will always be consistent. In saying that, I will also be consistent in my praise and in my concerns when it comes to Colorado and when it comes to Coach Prime. And I get that not everybody is comfortable hearing criticism of a person that they feel like isn't making mistakes. And I get that it's not fun or good to hear criticism from somebody that you feel like is constantly getting criticized or constantly trying to do certain things. I totally understand that. But I am not going to change who I am to make sure that it makes people comfortable when I'm talking about a topic. I'm going to be honest. If I see something, I'm going to call it. If I like something, I'm going to call that too. And I very much appreciate Coach Prime coming out and addressing that situation. And hopefully that means that we won't be in this situation again, and we won't have to deal with this, and we won't have to go down these rabbit holes of, what did he mean? Did he say what he meant? Did he mean what he say? Is he tired? Is he this? Is he that? Is he a terrible leader? There was so much happening on Twitter last week. I actually didn't even want to get on it. I didn't want to get on it. I didn't want to look. It became so much infighting and so much fighting about what he said and Shedeur's stock and all this stuff. Like, I'm not there for that. That was toxic. I don't want anything to do with that. However, I appreciate Coach Prime for saying what he did. I appreciate Coach Prime for admitting his area and that where he didn't do well. And I also appreciate the fact that he said he needs to do better. And so I like that. That is what I want to see. I respect anybody on this earth that can say, you know what, I did this thing that probably wasn't the best, but I'm going to correct that behavior and I'm not going to do that again. So I appreciate that. So I just wanted to thank Coach Prime, and I wanted to be consistent and say, yeah, I might criticize him, and yeah, he might do things that I don't agree with and all of those things, but I also like it when he does things I agree with. And I like it when he comes back around and says things that I am down with and things that I can really ride with and be like, perfect, that's our guy. I think too many times in this world, people go down rabbit holes, and they're going down all the wrong rabbit holes and doing everything wrong. And instead of just apologizing or saying they didn't know or realizing that they're hurting people, they just keep hurting people, and they just dig in, and they just get worse and worse and worse, because really they can't just apologize. They can't admit that something happened and it got ahead of them, and so they reacted in the wrong way. So the amount of emotional intelligence it took Coach Prime to make that statement, I respect that. And that is why I support him. And that is why I am on the bandwagon and hoping Colorado does well this year, is because I support what he's trying to do. I support him building up young men, and I support him actually doing this his way. Do I always like it? No. Is it always pretty? No. But I'm here because I want this to work for him, and I want him to change the game because I like change. And part of the world is, if you can change the world, if you can have an impact on the world, that is what we're all here for. So I will sit and wait, and I will cheer him on, and I will hope for the best, and I will hope that this is the year he starts to make the change, and this is the year where people start to realize a different college football. So again, I just wanted to thank Coach Prime for coming out and saying what he said, and I wanted to thank him for having the courage to say it. Obviously, he doesn't need me to say thank you, and he doesn't need me to tell him he has courage and all those things. I got it. However, I wanted to make a video in support of him because I feel like it's easy for me to make videos when I'm kind of like, I don't know about this, right? Or I don't know, I'm concerned. And so I wanted to come out and do the same thing when he does something I like, and when he does something that impresses me. I wanted to make a video and take a stand and say, listen, that impressed me, and I'm super glad he made that video. And I just want to say, because sometimes I can be petty, God knows my heart. If you were somebody that was attacking people last week, and you were somebody that thought that what Coach Prime did was acceptable, I'm not telling you that you should go to those people and apologize. But all I'm saying is Coach Prime apologized and realized what he did was wrong. So I really hope that some of us can think about the things that we're doing and the quickness we have to defend people that we think can never be wrong. I think that that's not a good thing. And I don't want us to move into this direction, because our jobs as fans is to hold our coach accountable. And our job as fans is, yes, to be supportive, to love on them, to do all those things. But also when they do something that isn't right, that isn't good, no matter how fed up they are, no matter how tired they are, it is our job to make sure that we hold them accountable, that we hold them to the standard that they are saying that they're holding their athletes to. So just a reminder, like, don't be afraid to hold your coach accountable. Don't be afraid to hold your leader accountable. Don't be afraid to hold your person in power accountable, because that accountability is what's going to allow that person to grow. And like Coach Prime said, I think it was as soon as the season was over, he did an interview. I can't remember who he did an interview with. I cannot remember who he did an interview with. And when he said, listen, I made some mistakes last year. I'm going to be better. I'm going to do it right. I'm going to do better. I've taken some time. I've been reflective. That is the coach I love. That is the coach that I support. And I hope that a lot of us are able to open our minds and open our hearts and see what's going on and not be so quick to trigger whenever something happens. Like, let's take a step back. Let's let things play out. And I just wanted to thank Coach Prime for saying, hey, I handled that wrong. My bad. I shouldn't have done that. I handled it wrong. I need to be better. That was not my intention. So anyways, thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you saw the video. Let me know if you agree or disagree with what he said. And listen, let's hope when everybody comes back from their break, everything is smooth sailing and all we're doing is setting up to win this year. And let's just go with that, okay? Let's just keep the positive energy going because we'll take all the positives we can get so we can win as many games as possible.